Good day, boxing fans. Finally, after all the trials and tribulations and postponements, finally the time is upon us. Saturday night at the Kingdom Arena in Saudi Arabia, we will see the fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. The fight that will crown the first undisputed champion with all the major alphabet belts plus the ring belt thrown in for good measure since Lennox Lewis so many years ago. Will it be the Gypsy King Tyson Fury, or will it be the great champion from Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk? Somebody's O has got to go. Stay around and let's break down the fight. In the one corner, we've got the 37-year-old former undisputed cruiserweight champion and unified WBA, WBO and IBF plus ring heavyweight champion of the world. He is 21-0 with 14 knockouts. He's a southpaw, he's a master boxer and a former Olympic gold medalist. In the other corner, we've got the 34-0-1 with 24 knockouts Gypsy King Tyson Fury. He is the lineal and WBC heavyweight champion of the world, who will be undisputed and walk away with a whole slew of belts. Now, if we look at them, 37 years old, 35 years old, their records both are undefeated. There's not too much difference there, except the fact I would argue that you could make the argument that Oleksandr Usyk is a bit more accomplished, being a former undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, Olympic gold medalist, but they're both undefeated. They've both got big wins on their record. But the big difference, of course, is Tyson Fury's got a massive height and reach disadvantage. He's 6'9". He's got a massive 85-inch reach advantage, whereas Usyk, is a mere 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. So Usyk is going to be the smaller man, weight-wise, height-wise, reach-wise, but that is the story for him as a heavyweight. Now, he moved up to heavyweight after cleaning up the cruiserweight division, and he wasn't really that impressive. Derek Chisora gave him a very close call, and then he was very impressive, beating Anthony Joshua for the title, and the rematch was closer. Joshua was better, but still, Usyk changed gears in the last couple of rounds, solidified the win, and beat Anthony Joshua for a second time. Now, Daniel Dubois, he stopped. He was less than impressive maybe against Dubois for the high standards that he set for himself. But now if we look at Tyson Fury, he ran a huge wave of popularity for a long while, that fantastic comeback after he went off the rails after beating Klitschko for the title, and eventually he was stripped, gained a lot of weight, made the comeback of the ages, had those three-fight series of Deontay Wilder, and then also knocked out his legitimate number one contender, Dillian Whyte. But then last year, there was a Derek Chisora fight after that, but who cares? Chisora they fought each other for a third time, and Chisora was a predictable affair. Chisora was a bit shop-worn, to say the least. But last year, he didn't fight a boxer at all. He fought Francis Ngannou, an MMA champion, and lo and behold, he got himself knocked to the canvas and salvaged a split decision. Now, that didn't leave a good taste in the mouth of boxing fans. For me, I don't have a trouble with him making some money fighting an MMA guy. It's kind of like Ali fighting Antonio Inoki. And, that he almost embarrassed boxing and that he had such a close call, I can even live with as well, because let's face it, he was always going to underestimate Francis Ngannou. And then Joshua showed us how it's done and did with Ngannou, what a world champion boxer should do. But what soured me and soured a lot of the boxing world last year is that he didn't fight any boxer, never mind a proper contender. He just sat on the WBC belt and his lineal status, and he fought Ngannou. And all the postponements of a Usyk fight, he got cut in sparring. Now, those things do happen, people. The people on the internet these days like to run away with a thing and get all excited that he's ducking this, he's ducking that. But people get cut in sparring. Remember Andre Ward before his fight with Carl Froch, he got cut, and just like these two, eventually they did have a fight. Same here. So finally they're going to be in the ring there in Saudi Arabia. Unfortunately not in a stadium fight in Britain. But it is what it is. We're getting the fight. We're very excited about it. And before the Francis Ngannou fight happened, Fury was a very solid favourite. I believe he's still a favourite. But now it's a very close fight and people are wondering. Now, would we have given Usyk such a big chance if Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury didn't happen? I wonder. Because the thing with Oleksandr Usyk, if I were to shrink Fury down and make him the same size, to me, Usyk is just a better fighter. Not saying that Fury is bad, but Usyk is just a better boxer overall to me. But Fury is significantly bigger. He's got all the advantages on his side. And unlike Anthony Joshua, he's a heavyweight that knows better. He's a more natural fighter to me. And he's a heavyweight that knows how to use his size. He can box out of a southpaw stance. He can box out of an orthodox stance effortlessly. He can do both. So he's a very natural fighter to me, is Tyson Fury. And he also doesn't mind the rough stuff. On the flip side, we all know he can be erratic. But for this fight, he will be dialed in. I'm convinced of that. Not even Fury is as crazy as that. He was definitely, and he looked like to be in good shape for when he was originally going to fight Usyk. We'll see on the way in on Friday what he weighs. But I'm sure he's going to be in good shape. If he's overweight and his weight's blown up, then all bets are off, and I would go for Usyk to win. But I think Fury will be in shape, as will Usyk. He's always in shape. And for me here, ring generalship is the key. Guys, please remember, please share the content among your boxing fan friends. It helps to get it out there. I'll greatly appreciate it. And in that vein, I think this fight is going to depend on who is a better ring general between guys who are already very good ring generals. Now, Usyk's obvious disadvantage is his smaller size and his lack of really big power, but he still punches with authority as a heavyweight, I think. You know, he wobbled Joshua a couple of times. He stopped Daniel Dubois. Those guys' chins won't be mistaken for Ray Mercer. But let's be honest, Fury hasn't got a Ray Mercer type of chin on him either, right? He's been down a couple of times against Deontay Wilder. He's been down against Ngannou. And if we look earlier in his career, Nevin Paschik, as well as another small man, ex-cruiserweight champion, Steve Cunningham, made him hit the floor quite hard. So Fury can be hurt, he can be knocked down. He hasn't got, I think, a really the greatest chin in heavyweight boxing, but it does have heart, as has Usyk, and it does have great recuperative powers. Kind of like Floyd Patterson eons ago. Fury gets knocked down, but he gets up again, just like the song says, like he did there, his Undertaker move against Deontay Wilder. So Fury can get knocked down and he can recover. So I do think that Usyk can time Fury of something and perhaps score a flash knockdown. I don't think he can keep him down. Can Fury put Usyk down and out? If he hits him often enough, you know, a 6'9" man definitely can hit. Any heavyweight can hit of that size. Once again, I don't think Fury is the biggest puncher that the heavyweight division has ever seen. I don't rate him as big a puncher as many guys in the past, but he can still hit. He's still a puncher if you stand in front of him, and he could get Deontay Wilder and Dillian White out of it, but they were much different targets than Oleksandr Usyk. So for me here, I don't think the southpaw stance of Usyk is going to bother Tyson Fury. I'd be interested to see if Tyson Fury comes out southpaw or orthodox. Guys, if you like the content, also remember to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate that. But I think it's going to boil down to who's a better ring general here. Who makes the other guy fight his fight. Now for Fury, the obvious thing is if he can keep Usyk on the end of those long arms, on the end of his punches, and break him down for there. And if Usyk is on the inside, I would imagine Fury should hold him, push down on him, lean on him, push him. I'm sure he's going to do the rough stuff with elbows and hit him behind the head. He's going to do all those stuff if he gets a chance. So the referee will also play a crucial part in this fight. And I think way on the inside, where you're going to half hold, half hit, maul each other, And way on the outside, obviously, is Tyson Fury's fight. But I think the mid-range is definitely Oleksandr Usyk's spot, because Usyk throws punches and combinations. He outpaces his heavyweight opponents. He outpaced Anthony Joshua over the stretch in their last fight. And he outpaced Daniel Dubois. In the end, these big guys can't fight at that pace if they are forced to. You know, so the only way you're going to stop that pace is if you maul him on the inside, if you keep him at the end of your punches. And that is going to be key for Tyson Fury. But if Usyk can be on the mid-range, get off his on combinations, dip underneath Fury's arms as he tries and grab him like an octopus and do the rough stuff and keep Fury turning and keep that pace going. Usyk needs to be all the way out or all the way in. No, all the way out or in the middle. That's where Usyk needs to be. Not all the way in. Now, Fury is going to maul Usyk on the inside and he's going to keep him outside. A good tactic for Fury, which I'm sure he will use, is to bang the body of Oleksandr Usyk, because his feet is very fast. He's this way, that way, in and out, and all kinds of different angles. And the body is a bigger target. You know, Daniel Dubois had some success there to the body, and I'm sure Tyson Fury can have. So Tyson Fury is going to have to work that body. That's what he's going to have to do. And Usyk is going to have to keep that inside range, avoid getting mauled and leaned on by Fury, and avoid getting stuck behind the left jab, or it could even be the right jab of Tyson Fury. So all the way out here in the middle, not stay away here from the inside, where the big man is going to turn him into a sausage, like Fury likes to say. So who wins this fight and why, guys? Please tell me in the comment section. I've been going this way, I'm going that way. And I'm feeling Oleksandr Usyk a lot more as the fight gets closer. Now, it all depends on who can do what. I think it's going to be a vastly different Tyson Fury than the one we saw against Daniel Dubois. And it's going to be a better Fury than the one we even saw against Chisora and Dillian White. He will have to be if he wins this fight. He knows it, and he will be that, I think. Is it going to be enough? Now, Oleksandr Usyk is already something special for those wins against Anthony Joshua and what he did against Cruiserweight. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. But can he beat Tyson Fury? The older dodge is a good big one beats a good small one. And it takes a really great small one to beat a good big one. And is Fury great? If he beats Usyk, he'll go down as the best heavyweight of his era. Maybe one would like to see him still fight Anthony Joshua as well. I think that's also needed for those accolades. But both wants to win, you know. And as I've said, it's a question of distance control. Is it going to be a great fight? I don't know. A southpaw, somebody with Fury sort of style. It could be a boring tactical affair. It could be a messy affair. And I think that sort of fight could work in Fury's favour. And it's also a question of, will he have a stamina to deal with Usyk? Because I think it's not going to be an easy fight for either one. I think it's going to be a grueling fight. And who is going to win? To me, I will not bet any money on this, but I just think that Tyson Fury is a very awkward heavyweight. He's a very big heavyweight without being clumsy. That's also key, you know. Guys that height in the past have always been very clumsy, kind of like Valuev or whatever. And Fury is not that. He's a natural fighter. Perhaps not a natural athlete so much, but a natural fighter, how fluid he is in the ring. And that size advantage of him over Oleksandr Usyk, I just don't think that Usyk is going to be able to overcome that for enough rounds. I think Usyk will win his share of rounds. Fury will win his share of rounds. But I think where Anthony Joshua had to really change gears to get the upper hand on Usyk, and then he gassed out in the last 2 or 3 rounds and he couldn't anymore. I think Fury has a savvy to pace himself better. He does the rough stuff a lot better than Anthony Joshua does. And I think Usyk can stun him, can score a flash knockdown even, but so can Fury with Usyk. And I think in the end, for Usyk will have his success, but he's going to have to really burn the fumes in the midnight oil so much to do those combinations and keep stepping around Tyson Fury, who will find ways to conserve his energy, but is going to catch up to Oleksandr Usyk later in the fight And I think that is when Tyson Fury will slowly start to overwhelm Oleksandr Usyk. And I think that's just going to get him over the hump on the cards. So my pick is Tyson Fury wins this by a close unanimous decision, a 2-pointer or so, to probably set up a rematch as well. So I'm going to go for Tyson Fury by a close, sometimes sloppy, some dramatic moments, hard fought tactical decision win over Oleksandr Usyk. So I'm riding with Fury in this one. I will not at all be surprised if Usyk stuns the boxing world. It's that hard of a fight to break down, but as I've said, it depends who controls which distance in the real estate. That's what it boils down to for me. So tell me in the comment section, what do you think? Who wins this fight? And also, guys, please consider subscribing if you find the content entertaining or insightful or useful. And enjoy the big heavyweight fight. Hopefully we won't have a draw and we'll have an undisputed champion afterwards, at least for a while, before the sanctioning body shenanigans start. And until we see each other again, remember to keep those hands.